Good afternoon, YouTube, and I guess Spotify too, because I am going to put this on Spotify. I hope the broadcast is audible. Let's fingers crossed this works. We're going to go over the new moon solar eclipse in Virgo forecast. This is a big one because it's a very rare solar eclipse. I'll get into it in a minute, but I believe this doesn't happen again for another 130 plus years. So let's get right to it here. So we do have this new moon solar September 21st. The new moon's going to take place around 3:54 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. One all Eastern Time is a partial eclipse, and it will be visible. Yeah, French Polynesia, the Cook Islands. It will not be visible in North America, but the eclipse new moon. Now there is a full plate of energy anaretic because it is at a fated point of accumulation. Its endings, fate, crisis, transformation, and up 2 plus 9 for 29, you get an 11. Now an 11 is a master number. This master number represents intuition, new beginnings, and spiritual growth. Solar eclipses are about action, external energy. It's vibrant, it's alive, it's moving forward. Lunar eclipses are more internal. The moon is emotional, emotions, it's profound and sometimes challenging. Now, this energy does want you to shine like the sun. So just remember, black moon. We had a black moon beginning of the month, and it was at 0 degrees in Virgo. Now we're going into a new moon solar eclipse with it at 29 degrees. Very rare. Now, this new moon will create intensified energy where there are moments of powerful closure. This is where lessons from the past are integrated, leading to either a crisis or even an epiphany about that prepares you for a new beginning. Now, astrologers often see the anaretic degrees as a point of significant transformation, marking the culmination of experiences and the looming point of change in a person's life. Virgo is all about organization, it's health, it's the working life, employment, service to the world, holistic healing, it's purification, cleanse, employment, diet, fitness, any sort of holistic endeavors will be blessed at this time. And textiles and natural fibers are part of this. So that would be like cotton and hemp products. Those are the two natural fibers that come to mind. This energy is all about our perfections and a desire to get in shape, get healthy, and get organized. This is the perfect time to reorganize your work and home space, get those checkups, commit to better health habits, start writing a book, and pay close attention to details. This is a time to unload, declutter, and give give to charity as well. We all must release and rid ourselves of what no longer serves our well-being and greater good. This eclipse is all about doing just that, purging the old, stale energies that linger and creating beginnings, creating new ideas, having goals, and even discovering new philosophies in life. Now, Virgo energy gives us the drive and the determination to do and be better. Remember, they are the perfectionists of the zodiac, so we can begin to progress forward with determination and tapping into the green energies of healing, nature, and critical thought too. Just remember that even Virgos can be critical of themselves and others. So I always say, especially to my Virgos, don't sweat the small stuff, but rather focus on the small steps, changes, and improvements that are ahead. Sometimes, on a side note, those small steps have the biggest impact in our lives, even if they don't seem like it at the moment. Now, it will be all Virgos, of course, and Pisces that feel this energy the strongest, along with other mutable signs, so Gemini and Sagittarius too. And it is those souls born with a natal dragon's head or tail in Virgo and Pisces that feel it strongly. Along with the earth signs will feel it as well. In fact, this energy will make all earth signs extremely magnetic, especially Virgo. But wherever Virgo is placed by house and sign, it will motivate you to release the negative and bring forth the positive to make changes for the better. Now, on September 22nd, we have Mars entering Scorpio, and Mars is the Lord of War, and it enters Scorpio, which can represent, drama, chaos, death, and it does worry me quite a bit. Okay. This can signal terrorist attacks, foreign and domestic, mass shootings, radical groups, acts of violence, warfare, murder, rape, sexual crimes, assaults, and massive cyber attacks. And I believe that's already happened in Europe this morning. Belgium got hit the worst, my understanding. So it's happening already. That energy is here. It's here. Let's see, where was I? This is also cyber crimes as well, such as fraud. So I would highly recommend in these next couple of days, keeping a close eye on your bank accounts. Now, on a more positive note here, souls born with this placement, Mars and Scorpio, will be intrigued by medical field, medical science, occult science, and even investigations. This placement usually makes great forensic scientists, great detectives, anything dabbling in the medical field, paranormal investigators, surgeons, and even morticians. They may also find themselves working for groups like CIA and FBI. This represents the police force or the mafia. Now, their downfall can be destructive emotional behavior, especially if there are past traumas. And one other thing I'm going to add in here that's not in the newsletter is if your Mars in Scorpio is afflicted, then it will create those traumas and extra issues. Now, we do have some intense transits taking place around the new moon equinox and sun shifting into Libra. On September 23rd, we will have an opposition. Before I go on, know that few hours after that new moon is going into effect, what did I say, 3:54 p.m. Eastern time, it will, in a couple of hours from there, it will shift into Libra at 0 degrees. So this energy, it changes before the day is over. So with that being said, on September 23rd, there is an opposition between Libra, the Sun in Libra, and Neptune in Aries. And this is going to probably create some confusion and lack of understanding with certain individuals. Now, please remember that normally you as an individual won't necessarily feel some of these transits because you're not natally born with a sun in opposition to Neptune. If you're natally born with the sun in opposition to Neptune, you will most definitely feel it. Now, the same day, there is a trine between the sun and Uranus, and this is an air trine because the sun's in Libra, Uranus is in Gemini, and this will make us dive deeper into spiritual knowledge. Remember, Gemini, Uranus is sudden release of energy. But it's also, what is Gemini? Communication. So you're going to see more issues in the news with communication and things like that. But when you have this placement, Sun trining Uranus, it does make us dive deeper into spiritual knowledge. So it is a very nice placement. Now, we also have another trine coming on September 24th. And that is between the Sun in Libra and Pluto in Aquarius. Now, that's one. There's also a square between Mars and Pluto the very same day, creating, in the morning time, it'll be a very transformative time, but later in the afternoon, when this square, Mars and Pluto square hits, it turns into extremely forceful energy. So just be aware of that. 24th is a day of extreme caution, and it is advised to know your surroundings and steer clear of large crowds, because chances are pretty good something bad is going to happen on that day or around that day, meaning the 23rd or the 25th. There's a long period of energy here. This could even mean the Middle East. I'm feeling it more in the Middle East, but just know your surroundings. All right, so I can't get too into the magical folk section because that is a paid service, but I will go over eclipse water because it's the big topic. I've been posting about it on TikTok. So solar eclipse water and Virgo workings. This will be excellent if used to rid yourself of disease, fears, phobias, improve health, job seeking, mental clarity, tapping into the green magic energy like herbs, holistic potions, tinctures, and oils too. Now I leave my new moon solar water out all day and all night because I'm trying to capture the elements of both to truly charge it. You can also tomorrow make yourself a big old pot of solar or sun tea and infuse it with your tit and drink it to your health. There's a multitude of things we could do with this water. This also is a turning of the wheel here. And then the word equinox does come from the Latin word meaning equal night. My bone, as we call the second harvest in paganism, marks the point of the year when day and night are at equal length, symbolizing a perfect balance between the dark and the light. This theme of balance is an element to the holiday and encourages people to find your equilibrium or your balance and your harmony within your own lives. This is also considered the pagan Thanksgiving and a second harvest of the season. It's all about reflection, gratitude, and letting go. Also keep in mind that 22nd, 23rd, 24th, those 3 days, the days and the nights are at even power. So this is an excellent time to do stuff for balancing, harmonizing, grounding. Be merry and enjoy the season. Happy magic making. All right, I'm going to cover Virgo's forecast because this is where the eclipse is going to be. So Virgo, of all the zodiac signs, you're going to feel it the strongest and have had the universal dragon right on you since July of 2024. So this new moon solar eclipse is telling you, Virgo, to rid yourself of the negative energy, the self-doubt, and the fears that are preventing you from moving forward. The black moon in Virgo back in September, I think it was on the 3rd, was at a 0 degree last time. I said last month in my newsletter, but it's not last month. A few days ago, a couple weeks ago, I mean. And now the new moon is at 29 degrees, meaning it's time to let go of what no longer serves your greater good and start progressing forward. You're going to hear this a lot in my forecast. This solar eclipse is all about the new and improved you and sitting right on your first house. This is the house of self, soul's purpose, and beginnings. So you feel, Virgo, you need to get out there and, make some changes with your appearance, do so. Okay. Get a new hairdo. Change your wardrobe up a little bit. This dragon in Virgo will change your perspectives, your viewpoints, and your philosophies on things. And Virgo, once this dragon moves in July, I believe July 27th, 2026, you will be transitioning into a brand new you. Remember, the dragon's tail that's sitting on you right now, on a side note here, is making you question certain things in life because it's sitting on the first house. This is where you question your philosophies, your beliefs, your soul's purpose in life. Where are you going in life? What do you want to do with your life? Things like that. Those are the things Virgos are pondering these last 18 months. Embrace these changes, Virgo, because to grow spiritually. This energy is also preparing you, Virgo, for that total lunar eclipse on March 3rd, 2026 in Virgo. I would highly recommend all my Virgos keep a journal and document your journey. Also, Virgo, on October 4th, Venus, which is going to be in Virgo, will be in opposition to the true node, which is in Pisces. That's your 7th house and your polar opposite. And this is going to be creating opportunities for you, Virgo, with growth. And this is within the realm of partnerships, marriage, contracts. So a lot of good things could be coming for you, Virgo. I'm wishing you the best of luck, Virgo. Okay, let me scroll down here. So things have been kind of crazy since this black moon last month, or September 3rd, and eclipse season is no exception either. Lunar eclipses always bring out man's illusions, their delusions, the insanity, and the religiously poisoned in some ways. Remember, we are a dragon's head in Pisces, and Pisces can be more of a conservative sign, just like Capricorn can be very conservative. So we are dealing with a lot of false information and the wrong information. I did make a video about Charlie Kirk, so I'm not going to get into it here, but he did not pass away on any of his unlucky dragon days or anything like that. I'm not going to say too much about it. Just there's a multitude of things that don't add up, but I will keep that to myself. Okay. The solar eclipse is a rare one of the most solar eclipse. I'm sorry. This solar eclipse is a rare one, as most solar eclipses either start at 0 degrees, 1 degree, maybe even 2 degrees of the sun instead of 29. Like I said when I introed in, it's just not going to happen for another 130 years. I will be long gone. Um, it's very rare. This is going to be all about purging. I'm using this word a lot because this is what you need to do. Purge things, rid yourself of things, energies, and even people out of your life. And the rebirth of the sun will bring new people, new friends, new ideas, and new opportunities to the forefront. Now, it is very important to take notice of we are in a platonic phase. It, I put about 7 days here. The zenith of it is going to be the 24th. But if you've followed me long enough, I always say that when Pluto moves into Aquarius, those platonic phases become more intense, they become more shocking, and they even last a little longer. So I can't give you all the dates, just know that we are going into some very nasty energy. But I would keep an eye on the 24th, 25th, right around there, even the 23rd, because I think something wicked is coming with that nasty square between Mars and Pluto. Well, that is not good. Pluto is death, drama, chaos. Mars is destruction, violence, war. So, and it's in Scorpio. Just be prepared. Because that it's going to bring a deadly scenario. That's all I can say. Mars is a war, but it's also claws and fangs too. It rules that energy. And so Pluto is death, drama, chaos, and it's also fraud. So you want to be extra cautious on these days, steer clear of large events, crowds, and even strangers. Watch the news and see the death and the chaos unfold with police issues, terrorism. The rich and famous sometimes die in this energy. And it's basically a world gone freaking mad. That's all I can say here. This platonic phase could be a warm up also to what will come on the next full moon in Aries that graces our presence around October 6th. So just be prepared for that. Best thing to do in this energy is stick to um, places you're familiar with and that don't, your favorite pizza joint, and go on off hours where there's not major crowds, because it doesn't mean anything bad is going to happen, but I'm even noticing it. I was in the grocery store earlier today and some lady had some stick up her ass. You could just tell. And I just sat there going, platonic phase. People don't even realize why they're upset, why they're angry, why they're triggered. And I can always tell the more platonic souls by how they act in public. And, I just finally was like, why don't you just go ahead of me? Go. I don't care. Go. Get her out of the store. So just be aware of that, because there are people that are triggered by this energy and they don't even realize it because they are robots to their own stars. But I am wishing everyone a very blessed new moon solar eclipse. Cleanse, clean, and declutter and prepare for the new cycle to begin. Blessings to you all and blessed new moon. Hope you guys have a great couple of weeks ahead.